In the ancient city of Varanasi, where the Ganga flowed with stories older than memory, lived a man named Dhruv, a stonecutter. He shaped stones for temples, carved idols, laid the foundation of buildings he'd never enter once built. Every morning, Dhruv walked past the goldsmith's lane on his way to the quarry. He saw how people bowed to the men who weighed gold on tiny scales. He saw how men in silk robes whispered about silver prices and saffron trades. And he wondered, why do men who create nothing control everything? One day, while resting under a banyan tree after hours of carving a temple pillar, Dhruv overheard a conversation. Two merchants were arguing about coin weight. One accused the other of shaving silver off the sides of coins, a common trick in those days. That evening, instead of resting, he took broken pieces of black stone and tried carving coins, not to cheat anyone, but to understand how coin shapes could be altered and how their weight could be manipulated. He wanted to learn how value was assigned, not just earned. Over weeks, he created replicas, perfectly sized, accurate in weight, but clearly marked as replicas. He wasn't planning to counterfeit. He was trying to decode the mystery of money. Here's what he realized. Coins don't have power. Belief in their value does. And belief, that's something even a poor stonecutter could influence if he knew how. So Dhruv tried something bold. He took 3 of his replica coins and walked into a local trade fair where village folk exchanged goods. He bought a bag of rice using one of the coins, not lying about it, just presenting it like any other. The vendor accepted it, no questions. Why? Because he didn't weigh the coin. He trusted its shape and feel. Dhruv had cracked the first layer of currency psychology. But Dhruv wasn't trying to scam people. After 3 experiments, he returned the rice and explained everything to the vendor. Instead of anger, the vendor was amazed. "You made this? It's better than real coinage. Who taught you?" "No one," Dhruv said. "I just study what others ignore." News spread. A local tax officer heard about the stonecutter who makes better coins than the mint. He summoned Dhruv, not to arrest him, but to test him. The officer gave Dhruv a challenge. Design a coin that cannot be shaved, chipped, or replicated easily. If you succeed, you'll be sent to the royal treasury of Pataliputra. Dhruv accepted. For 30 days, he worked in silence. He used not just his carving skill, but his understanding of how humans cheat. He designed a coin with tiny ridges, embossed patterns, and a groove that made shaving obvious. Dhruv hesitated. He had never even been outside his village, but the opportunity was too big to ignore. So he packed up and left. At the royal treasury, he was surrounded by gold, silver, copper, more wealth than he had ever seen in his life. His job? Inspect coins, detect counterfeits, and manage metal weights. But Dhruv didn't just do his job, he studied everything. He watched how market news affected coin circulation. He saw how fake coins entered during festivals when markets were flooded. He noticed how coin weight standards changed subtly across regions. Within a year, Dhruv wasn't just an inspector. He was advising senior officials on trade policy, but he wasn't interested in politics or fame. What really fascinated him was how value moved without actual coins changing hands. Traders would write promissory notes. Temples would record donations without moving a single coin. So he built it. He designed a system of ledger-based trading, where merchants could deposit coins in one city and withdraw the equivalent in another, without physically moving anything. It worked because Dhruv kept the records, and people trusted him. Eventually, he set up a public hall in Pataliputra, where merchants from all over could register their trades. No temples, no kings, just clear records, weight checks, and accountability. He called it Sthir Mudra Sabha, meaning stablecoin assembly. It wasn't a bank. It wasn't a mint. It was a financial network built on transparency. Of course, not everyone liked it. Powerful traders and corrupt officials tried to shut him down. They accused him of breaking tradition. Some offered him bribes to fudge numbers. Others threatened him. But Dhruv had one simple answer. Everything I write is open for all to read. If I'm wrong, prove it. They never could. In fact, his system became so efficient that even temples and kingdoms began to consult him before setting tax policies. He trained others, not just scholars or Brahmins, but sons of weavers, blacksmiths, farmers, people like him. He believed financial knowledge should never be restricted to the elite. Before he passed away, he wrote down everything he learned: coin standards, trade ethics, record keeping, and how to build trust in business. That manuscript, long lost to history, was said to be passed from one merchant guild to another for generations. And the man who started as a stonecutter? He was remembered not for his carvings, but for carving a path that allowed trade to grow without fear. The lesson: you don't need royal blood to build something that lasts. You don't need to be born wealthy to understand wealth. What you need is discipline, clarity, and the courage to stay honest in a world that doesn't reward it immediately. Dhruv didn't chase coins. He understood them, and that made all the difference.